Hey my beautiful Taurus peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ant from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your April 2022 tarot reading. As always, readings here are general, so if they resonate, that's awesome, and if not, it's not your message. And if you want to check out my official social medias, you're more than welcome to. That's going to be linked down in the description below. So Taurus, welcome on in everybody. I hope you guys are well, and let's see what we got going on. Starting out here with the current energies for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the month of April 2022. What current energies do we have here for Team Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout April 2022. First card out, what do we got? And we got here the Strength card. Okay, you could be connecting with a Leo here for a few of you. With that Strength energy showing up here, it could represent kind of a multitude of things. I do feel, though, with that Strength card, it's talking about pulling yourself back, like having the strength to withhold from doing something. Moving into the next card we do have here the Nine of Cups. And then looking at the last card we have for your current energies regarding April, we have here the Justice card. Interesting. Coming into April 2022, it almost seems to me like you are withholding the strength from doing something that you love and care about in order to create more balance in your life. But is that balance necessarily up to you? When you think of the Justice card, sometimes the way that I look at it, right? Even though it is the Justice card, I can kind of almost picture it as like a courtroom, right? And a courtroom usually has what? A judge. So in a way, I feel like there is some sort of judgment that's reflecting upon what it is that you love, Taurus. And considering that there's some sort of judgment reflecting upon what it is that you love, your way of fixing that is by trying to find a way to where you can do what you love but still have the support from others. I think that's what that Justice card comes down to. So let's say, for example, Taurus, you're a person who's a musician, you are a bass guitarist, you love playing bass, you love being a guitarist, and you love music. And right now, that is the current career that you're pursuing. You're pursuing music. You may have a parent, a family member, or something like that that isn't necessarily supportive of what it is you're doing, and that might make you feel very uncomfortable and very unbalanced, because when you're doing what it is you love, you're dealing with the pressure of a loved one not supporting you. So whether that's your story, right? Because I'm not saying every Taurian here is a magician, and this also doesn't have to resonate towards your dream and your career. This could even be about being with somebody you love, but having somebody else in your life not supporting that, so on and so forth. But the main gist of this story for April 2022, this message is that you want to find the balance of both worlds. How can I do or have something I love be a part of my life, but still gain the support of someone else that I care about, or something else that I care about, all simultaneously? So there is a difficulty here. You're trying to find that balance of both, that best of both worlds, but it's very difficult for you to do. Let's go ahead and have a look here at what you're dealing with. Immediately, we had the Knight of Pentacles jump out and the Emperor. So yeah, you're feeling pretty restricted here, Taurus. You're feeling pretty controlled, if I could say so myself, because the Emperor card here is typically a card that indicates control. Now, at the end of the day, you're the number one person who's in control of your life and who's in control of your path. You know, your choices are always going to be your choices, and what you do will always reflect upon yourself. But the issue is that we have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is like a very slow-moving energy. So when you're choosing what to do with your life, it's not something that's instantaneously happening. I still feel like there is some sort of approval involved with this Justice card, okay? Could be a Libra, by the way, in your life that you may feel is overruling you or overruling what you choose to do or isn't very supportive. So you're in a place, Taurus, where there's so much that you want to do with your life, but you feel very restricted. Moving forward from that, we have here the Nine of Pentacles. You wish to be set free from that restriction. You wish that whoever this is you were dealing with was on the same page with you. Okay, you got here Nine of Pentacles and you got here Six of Pentacles. So whether this is an unsupportive parent, friend, lover, or unsupportive anybody, really, unsupportive environment, right? You wish they were on the same page as you. You wish somebody could see the thing that you love and see why you love it and support you loving it, you know? Whether this is about loving your career and you wish that your parents would be more would approve of it. Excuse me, I'm stuttering like a motherfucker over here. But whether it's a career and you wish that your parents would approve, or your friends would, or your partner would, or whatever this whole situation is, it still comes down to that same foundation of you want to have what you love be a part of your life, but someone or something else here isn't very fond of what it is you love. And you just wish that they could support that, they could support you, they could understand you and see where you're coming from, Taurus, so that you all could be on the same page and there could be balance and peace. But there isn't balance here. And I think that that's what's basically disappointing you jumping into April 2022. Let's go ahead and have a look here, though, at where things are going to go for you, Taurus. So where are things going here for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the month of April 2022. And what do we have? We have here the Ace of Pentacles. Well, an opportunity here is going to get presented to you, but I'm not too keen on if this opportunity is something that will definitely make you happy. Yeah, Nine of Wands following up with that Ace of Pentacles card here. So the Nine of Wands is the card of being the wounded warrior, right? The wounded warrior energy with this Nine of Wands is kind of screaming, keeping certain things to yourself. So an opportunity that presents itself to you in April is like, well, I can keep what I love to myself and not explain it to the other person that maybe disapproves of what I have. You know, it's kind of like I can keep one side of my life private and keep another side of my life, you know, private too. It's like keep them away from each other, right? For example, let's say you're that musician and your parents disapprove. It's like I can keep my career out of, you know, conversation and I can hang out with my parents and not talk about my career. Or at the end of the day, I can kind of just say, hey, it is what it is. I'm doing what I love, or I have something I love in my life. And if you appreciate that and respect that, cool. If you don't, you don't. But Taurus, there's an issue here that arises with this opportunity, right? You can take the opportunity to keep what it is you love private, but at the same time, it's still going to disappoint you that you cannot feel like you are living in your truth. Moving on to the next card, we have here the Devil, and that's exactly what I was talking about. It kind of leads you to a place of resentment here. You know, you start resenting the person who cannot support you. You start resenting the person in your life who is not being very invested in what you love and what you care about. Moving on to the next card, where things are going, we have the Ace of Swords and we have here the Lovers. It's like, you know what? I'm going to have to make a choice. Do I focus on what it is I love despite the fact that somebody's unsupportive of it? Or do I cut off what it is I love for the sake of another person's approval or happiness? And I think we all know what the answer is going to be, Taurus. The answer is going to be, at the end of the day, screw what this other person in my life thinks. If I have something or someone in my life that I love and care about, I'm going to enjoy what it is I love, despite if it, you know, hurts somebody else, offends somebody else. It is what it is. It's my life, right? So you're regaining that sense of control again in your life, where you recognize my life is filled with my choices, what I want to do for me, what makes me happy, and there's not a goddamn thing that's going to stop that. So I like that for you. Regaining here your strength, Taurus, but most importantly, being firm about what it is you want, despite if it makes somebody feel like they don't approve or not. It is what it is. You have a life to live. You do what makes you happy, Taurus. So this is good. I'm happy to see you guys standing up for yourself. In reference, though, to where things are going, so as we see here jumping into April, right, Taurus, you're going to say, I'm going to keep on doing what I love or keep on being with the people that I love despite the fact of somebody else's negative judgment. What's going to happen to that other person or other environment? That's what I want to see here for you, Taurus, okay? So let's say you have a parent who disapproves of your lifestyle and your choices. What's going to happen if you kind of tell them, hey, it is what it is? Let's take a look here. We got the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, whoever this is you're dealing with, Taurus, is still going to be unhappy with that Nine of Swords, with the choices you make and what you choose to do. But ultimately, I don't see them not sticking around at the same time. So I don't see this person giving you any sort of ultimatum or trying to make you feel some type of way, but I just don't see them still giving you support. Unfortunately, I don't see support coming from this person. I think they're still going to be upset. You know, with the Page of Swords, they're still going to have comments to say that aren't very positive. And with the Page of Pentacles, it's like they're going to do everything they can to kind of keep you around, but they can kind of care less about what it is you have. So when it all comes down to it, Taurus, it's not going to change. You know, you're not going to get the best of both worlds here. And I don't mean to say that with any sort of disrespect or any way to offend you or make you upset, but it just seems to be the truth of the situation. You know, it feels to me like whoever this is you are dealing with that seems unsupportive, I think they're very much so stuck in their ways on how they're going to view this situation. You know, there's something I heard a long time ago which really resonated with me. It's like if somebody chooses to see you a certain way, they're going to always look at you that way unless they open up their mind to the fact that you can be a completely different person. So whoever you're dealing with here, the unsupportive one, they're going to look at your choices and they're going to look at it in the same linear way, and they're not going to change their mind about it because they don't have their mind open to be changed. And there is nothing you can do about that unless this individual chose to open up their mind to maybe look at a different perspective or perception. So in April 2022, even though you want balance, even though you want support from this one person in your life who you granted feel you should have support from, I just don't see it happening. And I think that the more, Taurus, you try to please this individual, the more and more you're going to end up feeling like shit. And that's not what I want to see you guys feel like. That's not where I want you to be in your life. So I think there comes that point between the line of resentment and between the line of saying, you know what, have your fucking opinion, I'm just not going to care. There's going to be that line for you. And I think that if it leads into resentment, it's going to really ruin the relationship that you have with whoever this unsupportive person is. But if you get more into the energy of just giving zero fucks, then you can potentially keep the relationship you have with the person who's unsupportive while still doing or having what it is you love in your life anyways. So it really comes down to what you choose to do. I'd say that, for example, if this is a parent of yours who's unsupportive of your career or unsupportive of your romantic partner, you don't have to cut off the relationship with the parent just because they cannot support your choices and whom you choose to be or what it is you choose to do with your life. But what you can say is that this is my life. You may have an opinion, that's great, but I'm going to let you know right now your opinion does not overrule how I feel with what it is I should do and with what it is I am doing. I would make it very clear that this individual's opinion is not going to overrule how you feel and what it is you're choosing to do with your life. I think it's very important to always let people know it's your life, you will do what you please with it. And if they are not supportive of it, it is what it is. I think the more you try to seek this person's support, the worse it's going to make you feel because I don't see them granting it to you. And the more that you kind of put this person's support as a priority, or the more that you kind of crave it and want it, the more and more it's going to make you feel bad about having what it is you love in your life or doing what it is that you love in your life anyways, Taurus, and you shouldn't feel bad about that, Whether you're pursuing your dream career and other people don't approve, or you're with your dream person and other people don't approve, fuck other people's approval. Remember, the only approval that is the most important within your life is going to be the approval that you have for yourself. So maintain doing what makes you happy, all right? Like I said, I just feel like this person here is very kind of thick-skulled. They're very fixated on the way they want to see the situation. They're not going to be open to this. They're not going to be open to seeing things from a different perspective, okay? Let's go ahead and have a look here and see if your spirit guides have anything to say. Are there any dire or important messages coming in here from Taurus? Taurus's spirit guides, throughout April 2022. And what do we have? We have here the Eight of Pentacles, okay? Moving forward from that, we also got the Two of Swords, and we got here the Hierophant. If you have to choose one person to please, if you have to choose one person to commit to, if you have to choose one person to work hard on, is it going to be you, or is it going to be what somebody else wants from you, right? I think it's going to be you, and I think your guides are trying to preface that throughout this message here. Eight of Pentacles, Two of Swords, the Hierophant. You can work hard to make somebody else happy, Taurus, or you can work hard to make yourself happy. The happiness of another person is not deliberately relied on you. The happiness of another person is relied on themselves, just as your happiness is relied on you, right? There are things that can add happiness to your life, that can add value to your life, but you are always going to be the sole source of your own happiness. And it's not your duty to make somebody else happy. It's not your duty to, kind of shield somebody from being disappointed based on what you want to do with your own life. So when it comes down to this, your spirit guides are trying to say to you, Taurus, you should be focused on you right now and what makes you happy. Don't keep looking for the support from this person, especially when they're not continuing to give you any support, right? All right, guys, let's look at the overall outcome here. What is going to be the overall outcome here for Team Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the month of April 2022. What is going to be the overall outcome here? And what do we have? We have here the Four of Pentacles. It's like, you know what? I'm going to hold on tight here to what it is I care about, to what it is I love, and I'm not going to let it go. Even if this person tries to persuade me, even if they tell me they don't support me, I'm not going to let go of what it is I care about. So with the Seven of Wands over here, you're just going to be restricting the individual that you're dealing with, the unsupported individual. You're going to be restricting that person from knowing what it is that you got going on in your life. It's not like you're not going to live your truth. You're going to live your truth, Taurus, but you're not going to let them get to you. You're not going to let their opinion continue to matter. You're not going to let their approval or their support be a defining factor in whether or not you should feel good and happy about what it is you're choosing to do with your very own life. You're not going to let them have that much of a role in your life anymore, in the sense of like their opinion mattering that much. You're not going to let it matter that much, essentially, right? And I think that's a good thing, you know? So overall here, Taurus, it definitely was one of those readings where it did feel like pretty blunt. I hope I wasn't mean or anything. I didn't try to be, so hopefully it wasn't taken that way. But at the end of the day, it's like just coming off from your person's energy, you know, they seem very resilient at not changing their mind. And when you connect with those types of energies, you're never going to be able to change their mind unless they're willing to be open to having their mind changed. So for April 2022, I vote be happy. I vote do what you love. I vote be with who you love. And even if that disappoints or lets down another person, it is what it is. It's your life. You don't have to impress anybody. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. And you don't need anybody else's approval but yours. I want you guys to be living your happiest and best life. And if somebody's getting in the way of that, just don't let their opinion matter as much. All right? Your opinion is the most important one. Keep that at the priority list. All right? All right, Taurus. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this reading for April 2022. Hopefully this reading was beneficial to you and can help you guys out if you've been stressing out over this situation, because it looks to me like, you know, 6 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, I wish everybody could just get along. I wish I could be supported for my choices and for what I'm choosing to do or who I'm choosing to be with. But even though you're not, and even though it is something that sucks, it doesn't mean that that has to take away from the happiness you have right now with what it is you love in your life. You know, don't let the opinion of this other person disrupt the happiness you have right now with what it is you love or whom it is you love and what it is you're doing with your own choices in your own life. Don't let that disrupt your flow, guys. Be as happy as you can be and disregard any opinions that don't resonate with how you friggin' feel. Okay? I love you, Taurus. Thank you for being here. If you're new, definitely consider subscribing. If this was the message for you, let me know below. If it wasn't, don't worry about it. There will be tons of more messages on the channel in the future. I love you, Taurus. Enjoy the rest of April 2022, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.